Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Get Crystallized show. And I've got my amazing co-host, Coach 𝙤𝙨 here. So for those of you who may be new to the Get Crystallized show, I believe I did my math wrong, Coach 𝙤𝙨. I believe this episode of the Get Crystallized show will be the 99th episode.
Oh.
The 99th episode of the podcast, although this is technically our second episode going live on YouTube. So so I mean, it's still something to celebrate. And for those of you that are absolutely new to the Get Crystallized podcast or catching us for the very first time on YouTube, welcome. My name is Coach Crystal, and the podcast is called the Get Crystallized show, the Get Crystallized podcast, because like crystals, strong women are made under pressure. And for quite some time, I've had my amazing co-host, Coach 𝙤𝙨, with me. We've gone through a journey of competing over 40. We talked all about how, we get on stage, the ins and outs of, how we actually evolve from lifestyle to going through periodization in order to achieve the type of body that we're trying to achieve, depending on the category. We talked specifically about all the categories. And most recently, Coach 𝙤𝙨 and one of my amazing clients, Tamika, competed. They both competed. I think now it's 2 weeks ago. And Tamika is 47 years young. Coach 𝙤𝙨 is 46 years young. And they were sharing a little bit about their experience. So I actually wanted to kind of talk about something very interesting because we have a closed Facebook group, and it's called Fit Beyond 40 for Women. And that particular group, my coaches, Coach 𝙤𝙨 being one of them, and myself, we offer a lot of free tips and tools inside the Facebook group. So there are, free 4-minute fat burning workouts for my busy moms out there. There are 10-minute bar workouts for my ladies that have, just 10 minutes a day to work out. Coach Elizabeth has started a physical therapy Thursday where she will share specific stretches and ways to kind of overcome certain aches and pains, especially as women over 40. We're not young chickens anymore, and things, it takes a while for us to oil up. A lot of us are in front of a desk for hours on end, and, we're not as flexible as we used to. So she shares a lot of valuable stretches and how to prevent, pain in your neck, your shoulders, your knee joints, all that kind of things. All of that to say, we really try to provide value inside that Facebook group. So a quick plug, if you're not in the Fit Beyond 40 for Women Facebook group, what are you doing? Especially if you're women over 40, there's a ton of free stuff. And Coach 𝙤𝙨 has posted a million healthy recipes in there. She is the queen of making comfort food healthy. So all of that to say, I recently shared a before and after picture of Tamika, right? So I'm actually going to show that. Hopefully you guys can see it. I really wanted to share my screen, but my streaming platform is being finicky today. So I'm hoping I can get close enough. So this is a picture that sorry about for the reflection, guys, for those of you that are watching on YouTube. For those of you that are listening to the podcast, I'm holding up the exact before and after picture that I was featuring Tamika. And the reason why I put that picture up is because, one, I wanted to show the hard work that she has put into getting that that result, and also just to open up the opportunity for any women over 40 who are wanting to take their fitness to the next level and to train like an athlete and maybe explore the possibility of stepping onto the fitness competition stage in 2025, because now is the time that I build my team, because we do it slow and steady. We take a full year to really get an average woman who, maybe exercises consistently, but is ready to take it up a notch. We want to do it properly. We want to take her through all of the phases of periodization properly. And so we like to take our time. We take a full year to get that done. So all of that to say, the before and after of Tamika is a year's worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
And I called this particular episode "The Truth Behind Before and After Pictures," because what was really interesting is one of our ladies inside our group had put a comment directly underneath Tamika's picture. And she said, "I'm sorry, but is this supposed to be the same person? Because they look nothing alike."
Mm-hmm.
And which is a compliment, I would think, right? Because it shows Tamika's hard work. And my response to that was, Tamika trained like an athlete, because that's exactly what she did. And her response to that was, Tamika may have, but the other woman didn't. And I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. So she still thinks these are two different women. So she goes on to say, there's no way that there's the same person, and the athleticism of the body has nothing to do with my observation. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. I kind of wanted to have a conversation around that, Coach Janae, because one, it's interesting that from her perspective, she could not believe, was an absolute disbelief that this was the same person. And to prove that it was, I actually tagged her on our YouTube live that we did last week, because Tamika spoke of her experience. We displayed her before and after. So if you want to catch that episode, it's literally the one we did last week. And I also wanted to have a conversation around where she says there's no way they're the same person, and the athleticism of the body has nothing to do with my observation. So I kind of wanted to just kind of deconstruct that comment. And I mean, let's talk about that. And for all of my ladies that are listening to the podcast or watching, this YouTube, live or replay, I want to have a conversation. And I opened up that conversation actually inside our Facebook group. And my question was, what do you think and how do you feel when you look at a before and after picture? So, Coach Janae, I mean, what are your thoughts when she says, obviously she still did not believe that it was this person, and then her comment of, and the athleticism of the body has nothing to do with my observation?
Yeah. I mean, maybe she's, I don't know. Like from my perspective, when I look at the pictures, I can very, very much clearly see that it's Tamika, right? Like the facial structure is the same, right? Like I'm looking at the same face. So I know it's the same person. And obviously the body has changed. And to your point, that's a year's worth of work. I would certainly hope that if you are working that hard and you are training like an athlete, it's going to show in that difference. And that's why we encourage, progress pictures, and right, because you're looking at yourself every day in the mirror. You may not see some of those subtle changes if you're like looking every single day. But if you take that picture from the beginning to, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road, and you compare those two pictures, right? Like that should look different, and you should feel really good about those results, especially when you're getting to that point of, maybe you're plateauing, maybe you're feeling frustration, maybe you're tired and you're like, what is this all for? Right? It really helps to lean into those progress pictures and remind yourself how far you've come, because there is a big difference between your starting picture and your current picture. And I won't say after picture, because we're always continuing to go, right?
Exactly.
We're always continuing to progress. So that's our current picture where we are now. Yeah. So to your point, it's like a compliment. Yes, it should look different. And I think maybe she's looking at the picture and she's just seeing, facially, maybe she's not recognizing it as the same person. I think like the comment around the athleticism must be other, observable points in the picture, which would be, like the face. I mean, she's wearing glasses in one and glasses in and no glasses in the other. Maybe that makes her look different to somebody. But everyone
Let's test that theory. Take off your glasses.
I mean, there's the Superman theory.
Superman. Right?
Right?
All of a sudden, you're Wonder Woman. Oh.
I mean, it does change your face a little. I will say that, but not enough that it's unrecognizable. I mean, that's a far stretch. But I will say, I mean, we joke about that, but there is some science behind the Superman theory. And that is about character and how you carry yourself and your confidence. So think about yourself in the before shot. Maybe you're lacking in self-confidence. Maybe your self-esteem is down, right? Maybe you're hunched shoulders. Maybe like you're just, your physicality is different versus your current, right? Your current, you've worked really hard, you're feeling confident, you're feeling strong, maybe you carry yourself differently, maybe your shoulders are back, your head is high, you present yourself with more strength and more confidence and power. So some of that science behind that Superman theory is true. They're right. You're hopefully it's more than just the physical change that is happening between your before and your current, but hopefully there's also that mental component and your own internal self-worth and your self-value, right? And that is coming through in your physicality, not just the muscles and the leanness, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, when I look at Tamika's before, I mean, I think she's always had confidence. Of course, she's fluffier in her before picture, and your face does change. It really does change. And I feel like, and we've seen with the hundreds of women that we've helped release weight, the face is the first thing to change. So I can definitely recognize that. But it's interesting to that point, from a person who's looking at another person and the before and after, I wonder if, okay, there are some before and afters where they blatantly say, oh, she lost 50 pounds in 12 weeks. Okay. Then I'm like, right, exactly. Now, in this particular before and after, I didn't say specifically how long it took for Tamika to get from her before and after. And what I mean by after, and you're exactly right, we use the word progress pictures because your after picture will never be, because you're always going to be evolving. You're always going to continue to have new goals. But this after picture was the first goal of her stepping on stage for the first time. But I didn't specifically say how long it took her. So I wonder if, the lady that had made that comment was maybe in disbelief because she's been exposed to so many before and afters where it was like ridiculous claims. I wonder, right? I also wonder if, I had put a question out there inside our group. Does this inspire you, or does this make you feel like a failure, that this is something I could never achieve myself?
Right.
I kind of presented that as a question inside the group. And I mean, I would love to continue that conversation. If, post in the comment box, when you see a before and after picture, does that inspire you, or does that make you feel defeated? Right? Something that you feel you could never attain. That's something that I'm very interested in learning and having that conversation around. And, when you look at, a before and after, I mean, for me personally, of course, if there's a ridiculous claim, I'm like, okay, what did you do? But, I specifically went live inside our group and said, this is not a magic pill. This before and after is not a magic pill. This is not a juice cleanse. This is not any one specific, plan, because when you're periodizing, you're going through like 4 or 5 different plans in 1 year. So it's a culmination of different plans and different phases. And so, I'm like, I did not claim that she did this in 12 weeks or whatnot. But I just really am so curious as to why there was such a disbelief, because we've also showed, before and afters, and I'm putting that in air quotes for all my podcast listeners, that are even more drastic, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
That are even, we're talking, 30, 50, like 80 plus pounds we've displayed and never had a comment like this. So it was so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
So
interesting.
interesting. You know,
I mean,
so
but that does say something about perception and how we all come to the table with a different lens. We all look at something in a completely different way that maybe we hadn't really thought of, right? So it does kind of put things into perspective too, that we are each looking at things from our own way of thinking, but our own kind of like historical background, what we, like you said, like what we've been exposed to. Maybe, you know, she's seen a lot of those gimmicky, you know, before and after pictures where they claim, and I have seen them myself too. And, you know, like I've completely discredited them because I know the truth of it. But if you don't really know, like it's easy to fall victim to that, right? You see these like 4-week claims, and like from my perspective, I'm looking at it, that is a year's worth of work, right? Like that is, I can see the difference between, I know that they're the same person, I get that, but I know that that's a year's worth of work, and that is strict nutrition, that is following a fitness plan, that is getting enough sleep, that is drinking enough water. There's a whole lot more going on between those two pictures than 4 weeks of
100%.
biofit online exercises, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
100%.
way more happening. So maybe, so like you said, like everyone has a different kind of like exposure to that, and a different level of comfort or discomfort with seeing, with continuing to see the before and afters, because those are very much, you know, we've been inundated with that marketing kind of pitch, right? And from anything from like beauty supplies to fitness regimes to like everything has a before and after, and to push their own agenda and to market their own plan and to sell products, right? So some people in that consumer world, it's left a bad taste in their mouth because maybe they've been burned before, and now they're like, I don't believe any of it. Doesn't matter. You could slap me in the face with it and I'm still not going to buy it. Right.
Yeah. So, it's interesting because you know, you obviously, you know, especially for us, I mean, you know, Fit Beyond 40 primarily is a lifestyle program. And then the specific program that Tamika is on is to compete. So there are 2 different programs that we offer. You know, so the lifestyle program, like, you know, I'm wondering, and I'd love, again, some comments, like what type of result would you like to see? If it's not a before and after, is it literally, you know, someone running up the stairs and not being out of breath? Is it, you know, is it being able to bend over and stand up without, you know, being in pain? Is it being able to lift up your grandkid? I would like to know. I'd love to know what type of, you know, proof or results would you like to see if you don't believe the before and afters, or maybe they turn you off, or maybe they push the wrong button, or maybe, you know, like you said, that you've been inundated by it and you've been burned before. Type in the comment box. Let us know what type of result would you like to see, so that, because all we're trying to do is prove, like it's proven. It's tried, tested, and true. And, you know, we've interviewed our members before, we've done that, but I would love to know from a visual kind of perspective, do you want that to change? Or do you like the before and afters? Do you like that? Or what else would you like to visually see from a program that is like, okay, you know what? Yes, that's what I want. Because maybe it's not the before and afters. But anyway, to pivot, I know that there's a lot of women who are wondering, how in the world does Coach Janae and Tamika able to stick with the program? Because like you listed, Coach Janae, that's blood, sweat, and tears, whether it's home workouts or at the gym. That's, you know, mastering good sleep, regardless of, you know, hormones. It's drinking your water. It's proper nutrition. Yeah. Okay, Coach Janae, I know that, but I'm still not doing it. So how in the world are you guys doing it? So what's happening on Monday, Coach Janae, where we can kind of reveal it all?
Well, on Monday, starting Monday, 8 p.m., we have our 4-day workshop where really Coach Crystal is really going to teach some valuable life lessons. I mean, we often talk a lot about, you know, the fitness competition stage and lifestyle and everything else, but even apart from that, and I'd like to encourage non-scale victories as well, right? Like you mentioned, you know, being able to run up a flight of stairs without being out of breath, being able to bend down and pick up your grandkids, or whatever that, you know, measure of success of health is for you. This is what you're going to be learning more about, like how to get started, how to stay in the zone, how to continue to be consistent and build habits. And so these are a lot of free nuggets that we are just giving away for free. And at the same time, you are going to be in a community environment. So learning alongside women that want to learn the same things, that probably have the same struggles, that have dealt with the same issues as you. So it's all very relatable, and they all struggle in the same way, in terms of we all have busy lives and demanding jobs, or, you know, half-grown kids, or like whatever that looks like, right? So you'll find some community there to help push you along, and to have some fun with it as well, right? Yes. Because it is, I think, a topic that weighs very heavily on all of our minds. It's something that I feel like before you make a significant change in your life, you are waking up every morning with this like hanging over your shoulders, right? Like, you know what to do, but you're just not doing it. And here's another day where you're just not going to do it. And then when you go to bed at night, you're going to, it's another unsuccessful day where you did not do it. You did not follow through with some of your promises. And yet again, here we are, unsuccessful. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and do the same thing again. So it weighs a lot heavily in our hearts and our minds. So this is a great place to start if you've been in that struggle and that kind of feels like you and where you are right now. This is a really, really strong place to get that first step forward.
I love it. Yeah, it's I like, you know, what you said, Coach J. It's really about breaking that cycle. Mm-hmm. Right? Breaking that cycle of maybe you sign up for the thing 2 weeks later and you quit. You know, you have a little bit of a cheat on a Friday because you've been good all week. And the next thing you know, you're like, well, I might as well start again on Monday. I've done that before. It's the, you know, I'm going to put my baby toe on the scale and take a look at the damage. And you see the damage in the morning in your birthday suit and you're like, what is happening? And it's that kind of cycle that, as Coach Janae mentioned, we're going to break. So we have the link. It's in the commentary down below if you're watching the YouTube video. And the link is also available on the podcast in the show notes. And so you click on that link, you register. And what will happen is you're going to be assigned an accountability coach, right? We go above and beyond because we already know that more than likely, the problem is you know what to do, but you're not doing it. So we want to prevent that from happening from the get-go. Yes. So what we do is I assign you an accountability coach, and Coach Janae is one of them. Yep. And the whole point is to hold you accountable, hence accountability coach, so that you show up and you get all the value from the workshop. So Coach Janae, a part of the process is they register for the workshop and then they're assigned an accountability coach. And you, as an accountability coach, are reaching out to them via text and or email to book a connect call. It's 10 minutes. It's free. Why is that beneficial when it comes to, you know, signing up to this workshop? How does that benefit them?
So first of all, I mean, it's always easier for us to kind of get to know each other if it's just over a quick call. So nothing can be lost in translation or tone or anything like that. So it's a little bit easier. It's nice and convenient, quick call, but it's a way for me as your accountability coach to get to know and understand you a little bit better, and maybe like what your struggles are, what your past experiences have been, what you're hoping to get out of the workshop. Like, what are you working towards? What's your goal? Why are you here? Why does this interest you? What are you really going after? it will help you in a means that, number one, we have a ton of free resources, so I can, start pointing you in the right direction for that. Obviously the Facebook page is, filled with tons of great information, from nutrition and fitness to mindfulness, etc. So I'm going to make that search a little bit easier for you. Make sure that you get your hands on the things that are most important to you. But also, this helps us tailor our content, make sure that we are providing very valuable information that is still relevant, that you will find helpful and valuable as well, that you can start implementing and putting into practice. Because we don't want to be like everyone else, where we're just throwing mud on the wall, right? Like, this has to be good, valuable information that you all find value in. And as, things change and as we continue to grow, right, we want to, keep that content growing as well, right? So when we chat, I get to know a little bit more about what you're looking to get out of the workshop and what your goals are, and then I can relay that to Coach Crystal, and then she gets to know you through me, and that makes the workshop experience a little bit more enjoyable for you, because it is a dialogue, right? We're all going to be in there together, and you're going to really start to feel a sense of community and that personalized touch, right? Because that really is what it's all about, is that personalization, because everyone is different. Everyone's going to want different goals. Everyone's going to want different things. So this is a way to personalize that and make sure that you get exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, I love it so much. And because exactly to Coach Janae's point, every body is different. And a part of that journey is your coaches, they're going to be emailing every single participant our workbook. And that workbook is pure gold, because it literally unlocks, if you've been stuck, perhaps you're a procrastinator and you want to break that self-sabotaging habit. There are, one of the sessions that I teach are 5 calorie-free things that are causing weight gain, especially for women over 40. So there's going to be a whole bunch of eye-opening, mind-blowing, bomb-dropping golden nuggets that you'll be like, wow, that's why I'm stuck. Wow, that's why I can't, go past 2 weeks. Wow, that's why I've hit a plateau. So you're going to want this workbook. And the only way you're going to get the workbook is if you're in contact with your accountability coach. The free workshop is going to be held on Zoom, so it's private. We're going to have a lot of fun. Like Coach Janae said, there's going to be, all of us women are over 40. We are at some point or another experiencing some type of menopause transition. So we're all in the same boat, right? So you are going to be a part of not only coaches, but a community of women who are all sharing the same struggles. And there's nothing more comforting than that, I really think. And I've sweetened the pot, Coach Janae. So when they book a connect call with you, they are going to be then pre-qualified for a $2,500 scholarship. So we're going to be giving away one scholarship. And then secondly, every single woman that attends live on day one, like we see their face on Zoom, they're going to be gifted our 21-day tummy and thigh trimming workout. So you already get a goodie just for showing up for day one. You get more goodies having your call with your accountability coach. And you're really going to experience some major breakthroughs. And Tamika will be one of our guests. And Coach Janae, you're going to share your testimony as well. For everyone who is like, how in the world do I stay the course? How do I master consistency? How do I crush self-sabotage? How do I stop the I know what to do, but I'm not doing train? You want to get off that train? Coach Janae and Tamika are going to share the secret. They're going to share the secret. So there's so many reasons for you ladies to register. It's absolutely free. The link is in the comments. The link is in the show notes. So make sure that you do. And why wouldn't you? It's free. Like,
it's free.
Why wouldn't you? Right? Yes. Yeah. So any last words about the workshop, Coach Janae? Why should they show up live?
the sense of community is really like, you don't want to miss out on that. It is such a good vibe, a good environment. You want to experience it with everyone else at the same time. It really is something else. And we've seen a lot of breakthroughs. We've seen some cute friendships develop, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that is, you know, and so some of us are really, you know, like, we're trying to reach out and make those connections, and this is a great way to connect, right? Because, you know, you've got the same vibe, you're going after the same goals, right? So it's a great fun place to be about a topic that is really quite serious, right? So
Yes.
it breaks the ice a little. So if you've been nervous about it before, or shy or intimidated, this is a great place to, you know, shake all of that off, right? It's judgment free. It's a completely safe space. Again, you are with like-minded women. We're all in it for the same goals. We're all here to support each other and help each other. So you can't get any better than that, right? There's no fear. Jump in with no fear, no intimidation. We're just here to help you.
I love it. I love it. So with that, the last little announcement is, this being our 99th episode, when we drop our 100th episode, we're going to have a very special announcement. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. I cannot promise that it's going to happen next week, but I will post, I will post when we're going to be making that big announcement, because it's going to be a really fun announcement and some prizes to be won around that announcement. And so we're really, really excited. Our 100th episode already. What in the world? So for those of you that have not yet subscribed, make sure you do. The Get Crystallized Show is found on Spotify and Apple. And if you are not a subscriber here on the Fit Beyond 40 YouTube channel, please do that, because our goal is to go live and in the future bring on some experts for all things that would benefit women over 40. We're talking hormones, we're talking sleep, we're talking nutrition, we're talking all the things. In the future, we are going to bring so much value to you. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Yes. Coach Janine, I love you so much. I think this is a great conversation, and we're excited for next week's workshop. Yeah, definitely. Some lives are going to be changed already. I'm not saying you're going to drop 100 pounds in 4 days, but what I'm saying is that your mindset is going to be blown from what you learn in 4 days. Yeah. Exactly. So make sure you click the link, RSVP, and you never know, Coach Janae might be your accountability coach. So there you go. So until we announce when our 100th episode is, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Coach Janae.
You're welcome.
Bye.